On May the 20th, 2018, I got baptized again. When I was 6, I got baptized and saved, and I lived my life growing up in church. I was there with my mom every time the doors were open, as many of us were. And I know if I'd have died, I'd have gone to heaven. There was never any doubt about God or my salvation until about 2010. And the church that I was at, we had this point in time where every Sunday people were going up and they were saying, my salvation's not real. I need to really get saved. And I started questioning my salvation. And I actually had to go talk to my pastor, which is not something I ever did. And I told him, how I was feeling about it. And he said, Tori, you have to remember, everybody's salvation experience is different. Just because you didn't have some radical transformation does not mean that your salvation was not real. And I knew he was telling me what I needed to remember, because that's how it was. All these people that were going down to say I need to get saved, they were older when they got saved, and the life that they were living, there was a radical transformation. And just because I didn't have that, I started doubting. So some people grow up and they don't get saved, so they live like they're not saved, and then they get saved, and it's like a total turnaround. And some of us just get saved when we're young, and we don't experience that, so it can lead to questions. And so after I talked to him, though, I was fine, because I was like, you're right. You're completely right. Well, about 8 years later, in 2018, I started having doubts again. And it was the weirdest thing, because I think that there was that time where people were going up and saying, I need to get saved again. But what I really do remember is every time we'd be in the invitation, I would feel like I needed to go up front. And I'm like, why? I've been a Christian for years already. And so, again, I found myself in my pastor's office, and I told him, I was like, I need to get baptized. And it wasn't about I need to get saved. It was I need to get baptized. And so I did on May the 20th, 2018. And since then, not a doubt, not a thought of am I saved, nothing. You know what it did do? It opened up the doors for greater spiritual growth than I'd ever had before. And so I'm telling you this, one, because I'm thankful that I just following in obedience, feeling like the Lord was pulling me to get baptized, not saved, because I already was, but just the act of getting baptized again. And I think that what it was for me is because I was so young when I got saved, and I did so much growing as an adult, and it took me 20 years to get to like a real place of spiritual growth and like just getting closer to the Lord. Again, grew up in church, was there every time, knew a lot. It just took a while to like really let the Lord take over my life, to sing I surrender all and mean it. And so anyway, I think that was why he wanted me to get baptized again, is because of all the growth. Like, I was a new person after the salvation. So anyway, after 2018, when I got baptized on May the 20th, I can't tell you the exponential spiritual growth. And I'm sharing this with you, like I said, because I'm thankful for the opportunities that the Lord gives us. And I'm thankful that he took something that was bad, because it was messing with my mind and, causing me all these doubts and everything. But he took it and made something great out of it. And somebody might need to hear this today. And just, it doesn't matter how long you've been a Christian. Sometimes God just wants us to do things out of obedience and trust him and what he's calling us to do out of obedience, whether it's something seemingly small like being baptized again, or something great like following him in some sort of ministry. I don't know who needs to hear this or why you might, but if you do, I just want to share this with you, because Christian life, it is a journey. It is an ever evolving thing. You should always be growing in some way. And if you feel like you're not growing as a Christian, there needs to be some kind of change, because we should always be learning more about the Lord and growing in the life that we live for Him and our daily lives. It should affect our daily lives as well. So anyway, I'm thankful for this day from May the 20th, 2018. And I'm thankful to be here sharing this with you on May the 20th, 2026. And I hope this helps somebody.